This news update is brought to you by
This is the 6 p.m. Barbados Day update for Thursday, June 19, 2014. I'm Kamar Jordan. Good evening. 48 hours after wanted man Michael Beckles was captured by police, he's now facing a murder charge. He's been held responsible for the stabbing death of British national Brian Paul Mulligan in Dover, Christchurch. Mulligan, who was working with Lyme, succumbed to his injuries at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital on Sunday. The 54-year-old murder accused will appear in the District A Magistrates Court tomorrow. Meantime, police have ended their search for a second wanted man, David Nathaniel Taniel Lynch. The 20-year-old, who is also known as Dede, Fox or Black Fox, surrendered today in the company of an attorney at law. Police say he's now assisting with several investigations. A grim tale of children cutting up their bodies to tell their story of a life of abuse. Pediatric and adult psychiatrist Shirley Alleyne made the startling revelation as she made a presentation at a symposium on student sexual abuse coordinated by the Ministry of Education and UNICEF.
You can sometimes see physical signs or physical abnormalities, but not as often. You have to be looking for them. So the most often ones, or the most frequent ones I will see, to the point where I almost routinely will look at the arms of young people who come into my office. Cutting. There's a lot of cutting. And I'll say to you, invariably, maybe 75% of the children who I see signs of self-mutilation on, when asked, there's been a history of abuse. And say of that 75% at the time, maybe 70% of it may be sexual abuse.
He's disturbed by what he calls an assault on the Barbados economy by international financial institutions and ratings agencies. Former St. Michael's South East MP Hamilton Lashley is writing off Moody's Investor Services, which recently issued a 3-notch downgrade against the island, and Standard & Poor's, which has hinted that it may be forced to lower its rating of the island. Lashley tells Barbados Today it's all part of a plot to destabilize the economy.
Meditate standards are poor, which in my view got poor standards. And when it is Moody's, who always moody, and when they get in a particular mood, they lash out at Barbados. Why they sustain continued assault on Barbados? The sum equation is that, to me, it is a well-constructed program to destabilize the economy of Barbados and put Barbadians in a kind of psychological frame of mind that at any time there could be at any time this great esteem and pride that we have as a nation. The whole idea is to devalue the Barbadian dollar and devalue the Barbadians' sense of worth.
A warning to food handlers to set aside all jewelry this crop over season. The Environmental Health Department serves notice is cracking down on unhealthy food handling practices and is adopting a zero-tolerance policy to the wearing of jewelry. Chief Environmental Officer Tyrone Applewhite says while there's been significant efforts to raise the bar when it comes to food preparation, the wearing of jewelry remains a big problem.
When you have rings on your fingers, there's no way you can wash your hands, you can sanitize your hands properly because of the bacteria and other things accumulate under those things. So we're asking people that during the preparation of food, just remove all of the jewelry. In this, the earrings and so on can easily drop off and drop into the food as a physical hazard. And then some person biting down that earring in the food and thing, that can be very, very, very dangerous. We're asking persons to remove all of the nail polish and the extended nails. There's no need for that. in preparation phase. And we're asking vendors that if they have cuts and bruises and so on, they cannot prepare foods.
In sport, intermittent rain did not dampen hot action in the Beckles National Sports Council Primary School football competition. At the National Stadium, Wesley Hall Primary booked its place in the finals after beating George Laming Primary 3-2. In the second semi-final, Grantley Prescott outplayed Cuthbert Moore 2-1. Captain Devontae Ridgers scored a goal off a free kick. The finals are set for July 13th.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Hi, I'm Red Plastic Bag. Anyone who knows me knows I don't like cold. Sunshine reigns in my country. I love it.
Get your sun power.
To the region now, Jamaica's Youth Minister Lisa Hanna is seeking legal advice on what action can be brought against human rights lobby group Jamaicans for Justice after it introduced unauthorized sex education material in 6 privately operated children's homes. The manuals used were found to include age-inappropriate lessons about oral, anal, and vaginal intercourse. In a press statement, Hannah said she was also referred to the manuals to the attention of the children's advocate, Diane Gordon Harrison. The minister has also ordered the Child Development Agency to immediately sharpen its monitoring functions. On the international front, U.S. President Barack Obama is sending up to 300 military advisors to support Iraqi forces battling against an al-Qaeda-led insurgency. But he insists American combat troops will not be fighting in Iraq again. Iraq has been under siege for more than a week as Sunni militants take control of several areas. Well, that's been our 6 p.m. update. You can join us again at 7 o'clock in the morning. Until then, log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper, and remember to like us on Facebook to get more news and sports. I'm Kamar Jordan. Good evening, and see you tomorrow morning.
This news update is brought to you by